Hey guys, this is David with Great Choice Audio Video. Hey, we just completed a pre-wire, and people will ask a lot of questions about pre-wire, so we want to do another video for you guys on this pre-wire. It's a nice modern home here in Oklahoma, and I want to show you all the cool things that we've wired for and some of the things that we do. So without further ado, let's move into the main living room. All right, so in the living room, you got your fireplace, got the TV above the fireplace. Now what's really cool, guys, is we ran some 14 gauge, a little better wire, 14.2, to some front speakers. Now the client wanted a nice pair of speakers, and we will link a video, or the other video that we did with the same speakers, but they're small aperture speakers from James. They wanted a nice three-way speaker that had some bass to it. We could add an additional subwoofer, which down there, we actually wired for another subwoofer and or a subwoofer for the room, just in case you want even more bass. But these speakers are going to deliver a good amount of bass already. They're 26 inches tall. You know, they're going to fit within the stud base, and they're going to sound phenomenal. So, but the main thing is he wanted were a small opening. So we have a 3-inch opening, square, just like the last one we did, guys. It's going to be flush with the sheetrock. Now, one of the things we had to think about and with placement is, see underneath this window, on both sides, they're talking about doing floating shelves. Well, because we're doing floating shelves, we didn't know exactly, where the floating shelves may meet in that wall, and we didn't know, what might be placed on those shelves. So we didn't want the speakers to have a chance of partly being covered, because we're only doing a pair in this big room with these tall ceilings, and we want them to sound their best. So with proper placement, we went to the left right here, right next to the window, and then over here we did one right there. So we'll have a pair in here and say an optional subwoofer down there. Now everybody wants to ask us, what do we run to TVs? We still run coax to a TV for a local box, but I know more and more people are streaming, and because of that, guys, we run a minimum of 2 Cat 6, sometimes 3 Cat 6. And we also have another video I've done explaining what the uses are for those Cat 6. Very important, with taking audio off the TV, direct internet to the TV, controlling the TV, tons of stuff, guys. So I don't mean to knock some builders out there, but unfortunately we have builders here in Oklahoma, custom builders, building nice big homes that are not using a highly qualified audio video company, and they feel like Bluetooth and wireless is the way to go for everything. I totally disagree, guys. Totally disagree. Especially when you're dealing with a 2-story house, crazy thick walls, 6-8-inch walls, sometimes thicker depending on the areas. Large homes. If you're not wiring for a direct connection for internet, better Wi-Fi coverage, and all these different things, you're really missing out. And if you don't wire properly, you're missing out on a lot of technology that's coming down the road. A wire connection is always better than a wireless connection. I'll say that many times. So, without further ado, let's go to the patio. Now on the patio, so you can see, we have a pair of speakers and we have a TV. Again, coax, 2 Cat 6s going to the TV. All right. And so this is a small backyard. We don't have anything else going back there. Typically, we would pre-wire for a future pool or something like that, with speakers and for communication to pool controllers, things of that nature. Nothing is going on here besides what's going on in this patio. So, like I said, just pair of speakers and a TV. Now, everything is ran to a home run location, which I'll show you upstairs. Now, also remember, guys, when you do a home run is where all the equipment is going to be, and we typically try to put all the network equipment in the same location, because when it's all right there, all the possibilities are endless as far as how everything's hooked up, what kind of system. So you're not wiring for a specific system necessarily, because you have way more options when all your wiring has come to one location. Now, being that it's in a dedicated area, a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with multiple amplifiers and things like that, think about air. You want the air to circulate in this space, and you want to think about doing a custom rack. You guys that still put equipment on a shelf, I don't recommend it. Especially when you're dealing with multiple pieces of equipment, cable boxes, amplifiers, receivers, all those things. quit putting them on shelves. Custom racks is the way to go. And the reason why, because custom racks can be configured for proper airflow, proper wire management. And so anytime you have to work on something or add something in the future, it's a way, way, way better situation, way easier, way neater, way more organized for anybody coming in after the original AV integrator or during. So racks always, guys. Remember, guys, I say this before, speakers are kind of like light, you know. You want even distribution. If I just had a light over here and none way over there, 20 feet over there, do you think it'd be very bright over there? No. Will you see light? Yeah, you'll see light, but it won't be the same, right? Same thing with the audio, because it would be really nice if you're here entertaining, you're sitting at the bar, cooking dinner, whatever, and you had, you know, whatever going on the TV in the living room, and you could have the same level or less level of audio in the kitchen as the living room, and still get a great experience. So, guys, you know, I highly recommend in the kitchens, you know, that's open to the living room, put a pair of speakers, you know, to play whether it's playing on the TV or play your music. So, just another one of my 2 cents. So as we walk into the garage, now not everyone puts a TV in the garage, not everyone puts music in the garage, but why not? I mean, if you're going to be doing some tinkering in the garage, or you like to detail your car, or whatever it may be, think about adding some audio and think about adding speakers or TV. So in this back wall, so you see right here, we have a TV drop. Same thing, guys. Coax 2 Cat 6. Cat 6 is going to help us, you know, for video distribution, direct connection for internet, streaming, all kinds of stuff. So it gives us all those options down the road. Now, if we just want to use a local box, let's say that we're using DirecTV or Dish Network or a local satellite company or cable company, and we just want to put a box behind the TV, that's what the coax for. Now, I know there are some wireless boxes from those companies. That's cool, but if you can do a wired one, you got it there. So again, guys, still highly recommend wired. Now, in this area, we did do speakers in the garage. We did 4, and we did all in ceiling. So you see, one there, and if I'm not pointing the camera to where I'm pointing, I truly apologize. And then one over there, and one over there. So, and while we're down this way, don't forget about cameras, guys. You know, more and more people love to put cameras around their houses, and so you want to think on how you want to see around the house. You know, most people want them on entries, exits. It's always a good place to start. Front doors. Backyard, especially if you have a pool. You remember, kids playing in a pool, people going in your backyard. You definitely want to have some extra eyes on that. So cameras are great. So we have a camera right here on the corner of the house. It's going to get this whole driveway and this side of the house. Now, let's move into the other area, going to the master. So again, guys, if you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. You know, love to answer your questions. You know, pre-wires are so important these days because there's so many options out there, and you don't want to always rely on wireless technology. Yes, there's a lot of wireless pieces, but again, if it could be wired, I would rather wire it. So that being said, we ran right here for a touch panel or a on-wall iPad dock. Super cool. Again, like I said, Wi-Fi is important as well, so you want strong internet coverage. So depending on the size of the house, our rule of thumb is we wire a access point for every 1,000 square feet. So roughly, if it's 5,000 square feet, typically we'll do 5 access points. And guys, don't forget about outside, because outside is so important that, you know, people are making outside spaces more of like an indoor space. They're putting motorized shades up, so they're making an addition to the inside of the house. And so being as an extension of the house, they're spending more time out there. They may be on their iPads or their laptops working. Well, wouldn't it be great to have strong Wi-Fi out there as well as it is inside? So don't forget about the outside space. You want to make sure you get good coverage out there. Or if you have a big backyard and you're doing a big pool system, you're controlling it with, you know, music from Sonos or anything else, good Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi. So we do a lot of outdoor access points too. So right here is an access point. See, you can see that right there. So we got access point in the ceiling, and then what's cool about putting it up there is it's going to get great coverage. But we have 2 options. We can mount it on the surface of the sheetrock, or wood, or whatever's going to be on the ceiling, or we can actually do it flush, like inside where you don't see it. There's a special enclosure from Access Networks that they make that you can actually hide the access point in this special enclosure that still allows good coverage. and it's got a paintable plate. So you can't even really tell there's an access point there. It can be painted, whatever color the ceiling is, so a nice touch. Now this is the master bedroom. Now we have windows, and we are doing motorized shades. So on the big window in the back, the other window we ran Cat 6 to the locations because we're going to use that to power the shades through SI. And then these others that are smaller, we'll use the wireless shades for those. And then in the master, again, it's funny. Some people love to have audio in every room, including the master bedroom, and none in the bath. Well, in this particular house, they wanted a TV in the master bedroom. I wanted to talk master bedroom, and then we have speakers all in the closets and the master bath. So I'll show you that here in a second. But yeah, we have a TV drop right here, and this is for the master. No speakers in the master. So typically we'll run. People ask us all the time, what do you guys run for? What type of speaker wire do you run and why? Well, depending on the size of the run and what type of speaker we're doing. If it's just a background speaker and we're running it within, let's say, 150 feet or so, we'll stick with 16.2. If we know we're doing a better type of speaker that's going to need more output with better amplification, things like that, we'll run 14 gauge wire. Even on house wide, we'll run 14 gauge wire if we know we're putting in nicer speakers or the run is longer than 150 feet. So that's just kind of our rule. I want to make sure. I see a lot of people who use 18 gauge wire. We came across a Prewire the other day that people use lamp cord. It's not even shielded. I don't know why some people do the things they do. I even see AV companies do some of that stuff. Guys, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, leave comments, suggestions, or don't suggest, leave comments to us. Send us an email. We'll be more than happy to help you with your design, even if you want to do the work yourself. Obviously, we would like to do it if you're in our area because we like to see the job done right. I see so many people who don't ask the questions and do it completely wrong and then wonder after the house is already done and everything is pulled, and especially on two-story houses where you cannot run wire later. Guys, just ask. You know, if your contractor or if your builder doesn't use somebody highly qualified, nothing against electricians or security guys, but typically when it comes to AV, high-end AV or middle AV, for video distribution, good network setups, cameras, nice audio, data rooms, a good AV integrator will know how to do it correctly. So I would use those guys. So let's go into, let's say we're in the bathroom. We have a pair of speakers here, and they actually want speakers in the closet. What we did is a dual voice cool speaker because of the spacing. People always ask us too, is another thing. When do you use one speaker? When do you use two speakers? Now, when I say one speaker, it's not just a single speaker like in a stereo pair, because guess what? If you did a single speaker, that would just be the left or that would be just the right. That would be totally incorrect. You would need to do what's called a dual voice cool speaker. Now, dual voice cool means it's got a left and a right in the same driver, in the same speaker cavity. So it's one speaker, but it's got a left and right tweeter typically inside. So when you put your grill on, you don't see anything besides the grill, but you take the grill off, you got a driver and two tweeters, so left and right. So in this space, it's a small space. It's got a lot going on in the ceiling. So as you can see, guys, we just did one dual voice cool for this. And again, it's a closet, so should be great. So now let's get you guys going upstairs. Again, guys, this is a two-story house. Super nice house, super modern. And can't wait to get this one done. Lots of cool projects. One thing we like is, or would like to have, is maybe some cooler weather. It's stinking hot. It's 100 degrees, and of course, outside in this open, feels even hotter because there's very little air. So I'm going to attempt to go outside on the balcony here in a second. Super bright out there because it's not finished. It's got a white decking. But anyway, we're still upstairs. Now, this is a landing area. Client wanted audio in the landing area. So we did a pair of speakers in the ceiling. We got one here above me, and we got one over there. Right there. So in this nice, cool landing area, as you can see right here, going out the balcony, that's going to the office. we got a pair of speakers for some music so we can continue the party. Let's say, you know, when guests are coming over and you got something going on downstairs, and as they come upstairs, you got still the same music playing. That's super cool. And then they go out to the balcony to join the rest of the guests or the party, whatever. Super cool, guys. So, you know, this is the time to think of all the neat stuff how you might live, how you might entertain. That's why Prewire Design is so important. I mean, you plan so many things. Why not plan on, you know, what you might be doing in the house, such as a pre-wire? So we love designing pre-wires because, you know, there's so many benefits to doing a proper pre-wire. So later, because it never fails. You know, someone calls us to come do a job at their house, and someone else pre-wired it, and they did not do a proper pre-wire design. And so we're going out there, and we're like, well, we can't do that because you have a 2-story house. We can't run wire to there because they did not run wire there. Why didn't you think of that? So I hate being the bad guy. And then you're looking for wireless solutions. And guys, not always wireless solutions, you know, works or is the best thing, especially in certain situations. So wire is always best. And guys, just like, again, I want to stress a good pre-wire is so important. Now in this room, it's just basic TV, no speakers, but again, we're wiring for a TV. We've got coax, Cat 6, and again, guys, you know, even if it's a guest room, and if you're streaming, the Cat 6 is going to be for direct connection for internet. If you do a video distribution system, then you got a Cat 6 to do that. So we're going to leave the office last, and then we have another bedroom here, and again, basic stuff here. Got a TV drop, coax, Cat 6. So super cool. Let's attempt to go outside because it's super bright out there. We'll try it. So here we go. Whew, it is bright. Goodness gracious. So here's the balcony. Now they're going to build a pergola that's going to cover all this area, so you won't see that. But over here, this is where we're going to have a TV. Electricians are supposed to bring up the plug. They put it down low for some reason, so we're going to have them brought up, and then we have a pair of speakers going right there. We have a camera right there to get this whole side. Because you got a door there, and then right over here you have a staircase opening so you can get up here from down there. Let's go inside. Super bright. Alright, let's walk you to the last room in the house, which is the office. Now, this office has been thoroughly thought of as far as placement and what they want to do. So we have a TV right there. So we got power, we got our coax and 2 Cat 6s going right there. And it goes to the home run. Now, in the ceiling, we have a pair of speakers. So pair of speakers there, pair of speakers there. People ask us, well, why do you always put pair of speakers? Well, most TVs, guys, as you know, the speakers are horrible. They're usually an 8-watt speaker on the back of the TV. So typically, it's super nice. If you're watching some Netflix or whatever off the TV, wouldn't it be nice to sit here in this really terrible speaker on the back of the TV, be hearing it through a better quality pair of speakers on a better quality amplifier? I think so. So that's what the Cat 6 is for, so you can take the audio from the TV back to the amplifier through HDMI, through analog, through digital, however way we're doing it, and much better solution for a better result. So now we also did in the floor, let me see if I can show you this right here. So we have, now they're going to change this box out. They put in, there's a single gain for a plug for the desk, and we ran some Cat 6 there, so they're going to change it out so we can have a dual gain box. So that way we can do a direct connection underneath, so you don't have, you know, you got your desk in the middle, and then you don't have to run a stinking wire across the floor to plug into the sidewall or something like that. So this would be a great thing. And then of course, we also in this corner, we ran a single Cat 6, and that's going to be for, you know, internet, for also a direct connection plug-in, could be for a printer, things like that. And then let's get to the last but not least, home run. So as you can see here, we have a 20-inch box. So we have all our coax going to there. So if they actually do use the coax, you know, for cable or whatever, they have all their amplifiers and splitters and all that stuff. So it'd be nice to keep that all totally separate, nice and clean inside this. And then down below, you can't see, but we have a dual dual gang dedicated circuit for the rack. And then we have all of our wires going through, separated into 2 bundles. So, and then we've covered them. We didn't have any saran, so we covered them in plastic, and then wrapped them up so we could protect all of our labels, because we label all of our wires. You know, that's another thing, guys. Label your wires when you pre-wire. Sure makes things a lot easier without having to tone every single one out and wonder, what is this going to? Where does this go? Simple. It's professional. Let's label wires. Label your wires. So we label every single wire as we pre-wire. So that's why we try to take pride in getting it covered up, getting it wrapped. So when the sheetrock guys come in and do their thing, the painters come in and do their thing, they're not spraying all of our wire tips, and so it's easy to see, you know, what the labels actually say. So hope you guys like the video. Please subscribe, like, any comments down below. Again, guys, pre-wires are super, super important if you're doing a medium, large home, and you want to do any type of technology or TV distribution, auto distribution, camera system, wire for shades, I mean, you name it. So again, guys, hope you liked the video. Till next time, see ya.